And I want everyone's eyes on me when I say this. Look at me.
Hey, hi, hello. Ted Lasso has arrived at the perfect time in the world by giving us exactly what we've been missing. We're going to talk about why Ted Lasso makes us feel so good and how it shows us to believe we can be better. Spoilers ahead. For those I haven't met yet, I'm Luke the Orange, and I have been researching the science of happiness for years now because I want to find a scientific way to be happier. Now I want to share it so everyone can know how. If you would like to be happier, think about subscribing. There are 5 key aspects that Ted Lasso demonstrates on how to be happy and kind. We can't talk about Ted Lasso without talking about Ted Lasso, the mustachioed man himself. The first thing we notice about Ted is how upbeat and optimistic he is. Ted's optimism is the most outwardly presentable trait he has, and it's pervasive throughout the whole show.
That my constant optimism is too much.
Optimism is the confidence that things in the future will be good. He took a job coaching a sport he does not understand in a faraway land, and he thinks everything's gonna be fine.
Are we nuts for doing this?
Yeah, this is nuts.
Turns out it kinda is, but also not.
No, my plan is for my plan to work. But you know what they say about the best laid plans, right?
Even when things don't go well, there is still the bright side to look to.
One at a time, please. Please stop. Okay, don't worry about it. Hey, okay, here we go. We got it. Come on now, coach. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Optimism contributes to our happiness by allowing us to stay focused on the good and not dwell on the bad outcomes. This helps shape our behavior, which creates positive thinking, making us see even better outcomes. These benefits of optimism help Ted get through life, but there's more to Ted than meets the eye. A deeper aspect of Ted is his emotional intelligence, a skill that is usually overlooked. There are different aspects to emotional intelligence. Basically, it's understanding others' emotions, which is empathy, and also understanding one's own emotions.
I saw this quote by Walt Whitman. It was painted on the wall there. It said, "Be curious, not judgmental." I like that.
Ted is curious. Throughout the show, Ted actively asks and listens to his players, the staff, and strangers.
Hey there, Ollie. Leave it. Al, what are you doing here? Wait, I mean, you invited me, remember?
He accepts them for who they are and doesn't judge them. But people certainly judge Ted. What is this idiot American football coach doing coaching a premier football club in London? But Ted understands himself and his own skills.
Trent, what do you love? Is it writing? Me? I love coaching.
Understanding his own emotions allows him to withstand all the criticisms.
I realized that they're underestimating me. Who I was had nothing to do with it.
He knows there are probably unknown reasons of why they act the way they do, but they aren't because of him.
Did he just call you a
Yeah, it's an inside joke. Mostly inside him.
At its core, having emotional intelligence allows you to understand. Understand ourselves, understand others, and what's happening in life. When you begin to see the reasons why people act, life becomes simpler, making it easier to enjoy. I've had similar experiences. I wear a lot of orange, a lot of the time. And most people don't do that. Random people out in the street would yell jokes at me, and I really hated it at first. Eventually, I thought about why these strangers would get so worked up over someone wearing a color. And the answer had nothing to do with who I was. I knew who I was. Someone who likes orange. A lot. And like a good person, but whatever. Ted takes it all in stride and starts to make some of his worst critics into friends.
And though I believe that Ted Lasso will fail here and Richmond will suffer the embarrassment of relegation, I won't gloat when it happens, because I can't help but root for him.
Would being nice to people who are mean to you actually be that bad? Why not instigate some change and make a connection with them? Ted Lasso is more than the man. The show as a whole presents many healthy aspects of life. The big one is connecting with one another.
And I want you to be grateful that you're going through this sad moment with all these other folks. Because I promise you, there is something worse out there than being sad, and that is being alone and being sad. Ain't nobody in this room alone.
Having someone help us when we're at our lowest is a great benefit to build and defend our happiness.
Ted. 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 It's okay. It's okay.
Or maybe help when we don't know who we are anymore.
It's who I am. It's all I am.
Phoebe? Phoebe? Can you come here for a second? Can you describe your Uncle Roy? Everything that you can think of.
Or how to handle everything in life. Or be there when we're feeling alone. This support helps us when we need it most and can help us rise even higher. This is a huge part of the show, and the emphasis on social relationships and connection is a huge part of happiness too. As we connect with others, hopefully we begin to grow as people, gaining new experiences and understanding. We start to change, and embracing change is key to life. But change can be scary.
Most of the time, change is a good thing. I think that's what it's all about. Embracing change. Being brave.
Being able to embrace new experiences is important for personal growth. Change gives us the opportunity to see what we can achieve and overcome. Things that we might not have expected we could do. As our lives start to change more and more, we get better at handling it. Change becomes easier, and change helps solidify who is important in our lives. When the world is changing all around us, the people who are constant become truly special. And as life changes, we can see that we can grow into someone better.
I forgive you.
You... what? Why?
Divorce is hard.
I think this is the real genius of the show. It gives us an example of how to live, be kind, forgive, and be happy. As we see it play out on the screen, we end up wanting our lives to be just like it. Or at least I do. And we want more of it, Jason Sudeikis. But change isn't always good, and the real world isn't all sunshine and goodness like on TV. Yeah, Ted Lasso is just a TV show, and everything doesn't always work out so well in the real world. First of all, you can't just be nice to people and then they all end up actually being nice themselves. Sometimes people are just dicks.
Texted Robbie Williams, asked him to come tonight. You could have probably just as easily asked him not to come.
Well, now that would have made me a real piece of wouldn't it?
Even when you might not be able to see the good in someone doesn't mean you can't treat them kindly.
Hey! Better manners when I'm holding a dart. Please.
Believe that all of us can be better. Even if you are the most jolly man in old London, there are still bad times.
I promised myself I would never quit anything in my life.
But you're not quitting, Ted. You're just letting me go.
The main themes of Ted Lasso help when things get tough. Optimism helps us keep looking forward to a better place. Emotional intelligence helps us understand why others and ourselves act the way we do. The connections we form help us through the times when we can't stand by ourselves, and then raise us up even higher. Change can be frightening, but also liberating. We aren't going to stay the same, but we can grow and improve our lives. Because at the end of the day, we have to have hope. We have to believe that things will get better, that people will be nice to one another, and we each will be happy. Even though it doesn't seem like it can work in the real world, believe. Thanks for watching. Think about subscribing to become happier. And what's your favorite scene from Ted Lasso? The dart scene or the halftime speech? Let me know down below. Create happiness together.